When we decided to start our podcast, we really wanted something that was fun and easy and user-friendly for our listeners. So the Anchor app has been a blessing. We can do literally everything here. We record, we edit, we upload everything right here on the Anchor app. It's super, super easy to use and super user-friendly. I strongly recommend you guys download the Anchor app by going to your app store and typing in Anchor, and you'll see it pop right up. It's literally been a blessing to us. It's the best thing that we have for podcasting and sharing our podcast. So you guys be sure to do that. Anchor app.
Girl, I'm a strong black woman, girl. I left him, girl. I gave him back all his money, all his cars, all his shit. I gave him back all that shit, girl. He be calling me right now, trying to get back with me, girl. I ain't with that shit. I said,
So you trying to tell me you gave him back all his shit? You ain't got nothing. You walked away with nothing.
Yeah, girl, I gave him back all that shit, girl. I ain't with that shit. Girl, Girl, I ain't told you to do no shit like that. You done lost your motherfucking mind.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Victoria Balenciaga.
And I'm Mocha 3 Bad, and we are the Hair Gawds.
And you've stepped into the Gawdess Lounge.
Hey, girl, hey.
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing much, really. I like how you switched that around on me this time. I usually ask you what's going on.
You sure do.
But yeah, nothing much is going on except a bunch of bullshit going on in America, but I'm not here to get political.
Yeah, let's not do that. Not today.
I'm not in the mood for it. But other than that, everything has been cool. I have been quarantined with a teenager and I am going crazy. Other than that, all is love.
Peace and blessings. Well, nothing much is going on over here. I am trying to get my body right. But I think that, like, you know when they say your mental has to be matching what you're trying to do? Something's going on. I can't get it together. But today I drank alkaline water. So I feel the pounds just shedding off me.
In one day. That's what's up.
Okay.
So on our last episode, we spoke about family.
Yes.
And did you get feedback from your family from it?
I sure did. I got feedback from some friends that were like, I actually remember this happening or you saying this, but like I thought you were playing, and I'm like, no, I'm serious.
Because people really thought you getting your ass beat by your mom was a joke.
No, I was getting my ass beat, but one thing I do want to clarify, my mom is like my BFF now. She really is. Like, she's my rider. She was, and we never really had a problem. She used to beat my ass. That's it.
Yeah. She just used to put hands on you.
Exactly. And yourself, what kind of feedback were you receiving?
My mama ain't answered the phone in 3 days.
My mama said this is the last time I could record this podcast.
She been treating me funny. No, I'm just kidding. I've had good feedback, especially from a lot of the male listeners.
Yeah.
They definitely agree that their sisters were raised differently, but they do not feel that they were treated better by their parents now, and that is such a denial.
Yeah,
I
100%.
did a poll on one of my pages and asked I asked people, and I don't know if only women or men collectively. 95% of the people who answered felt that the men in their family were treated better than them.
It's so funny you brought that up because I did the same thing on Instagram, and the majority of the responses from the men when it came to like, were you treated differently than your sister? They would say no. And all the women were like, yes. And it was only men that said no because they're delusional.
They don't. They're not delusional. They just don't see the truth, I guess. I don't know. Don't.
You know what? You are on such positive vibes today. I'm so excited to record.
No, you heard me. I said they're not delusional. They're don't delusional. Oh man, they're gonna swear we're bashing.
No. We love you guys. We love you, man.
Fuck that. We said what we said. You know what we mean. Anywho, yeah, so what's next on our list of good topics today?
Well, do you remember how we were having a conversation the other day about the dating game and how it is now, how it was before, and like what's going on in the dating world?
Unfortunately, yes, I do remember.
I think that would be a great one for us to discuss and dive into.
So I know that you're this nice, pristine married woman,
Yes,
but
absolutely.
do you remember your dating game days?
I've dreamt about them, and I'm happy to share dreams on this episode. I'm happy to share them.
The thing that I have to say first and foremost is definitely dating is definitely a game.
Yes. Oh.
These days. Well, it's always been a game,
Mm-hmm.
but is dating a game worth playing? You know, we always say it's something worth it. I seem like that's our theme.
Yes.
Like, we do this, but should we? Or we do this, or is it worth it?
Yes.
And of course, dating is a part of our lives, and we have been dating for most of our lives. Mm-hmm. And would you date you?
I would date me.
Why?
Would I enjoy dating? I don't know if my personality would match up with my personality, if that makes any sense. I'm so serious. Like, I don't know if I could
feel bad for both of you.
Yeah, like I don't know if I could actually tolerate me 24/7, but I would date me. I think I believe I am a catch. No, I am a catch. Not I believe I am. I think I'm a pretty.
What makes you a catch? Because I'm pretty?
No. When it comes to, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. You haven't complimented me in a while. Thank you.
I was just throwing examples. I wasn't really aiming it to you, but if you caught it,
no, because I feel like when it comes to like the actual act of dating, I'm pretty easygoing. Like, if it's like whatever you want to do, or what, like, I'm open-minded. Like, if you say one day let's go skydiving, I'd probably be down to, even if I'm not doing it, I might want to watch. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not the type of
if I tell you we're going skydiving, yes, better buckle up. We're going skydiving.
Yeah,
you have to come watch me jump out of a plane.
No, you and I, but not me and Peter that I just met when I was standing at the mall. You know what I mean? Like, if you are first,
True.
You know what I mean? So, that's why I think I'm a good dater. And I talk about anything. I'm not really into awkward silences or awkward moments, I guess. I don't know. What about you? Would you date you?
Hell no.
Why?
Hell no. No, I would marry me.
Okay.
Because, oh damn, am I about to get deep?
Okay, go girl.
Maybe that's the problem. Like, I'm a wife, but I'm not a good girlfriend.
Oh.
That's such that. Wow.
Let's unpack this. What do you mean?
I gotta call my therapist. No, seriously, I am a great wife. Like, I enjoy being home. I cook, I clean, I'm nurturing, I'm caring, I'm enterprising. You have an idea. As soon as it leaves your mouth, I'm already in my head working out the tabs or how we're going to make this work. I'm supportive. I'm going to push you to be your best you.
Okay.
But in dating, you don't call me, I won't call you. You don't text me, I might not text you. You text me first, I might text back.
Okay.
Like, that's really been the thing. It's like the dating process is a bunch of nuisances that I'm no longer interested in.
Oh, child.
And it's like, listen, I'm already a wife, but you have to date before you become a wife.
Exactly.
So would I date me? No. Not right now, but I would definitely marry me. Like, if someone can date me and see past my bullshit.
Yeah.
And I don't mean bullshit because it's not like I'm going to bring drama to your life. It's just I'm not easy to catch, because it's like, maybe because things are so temporary these days, it's like I don't give enough time or attention to it, because it's like, if that person's not showing me that he's going to be my husband, I'm not interested. And I'm not saying that, from day one, every guy that I meet has to be my husband. No, I'm just saying, if you're not, I don't want to waste my time. So I don't really give the proper amount of care in the world. It's like, I don't give a fuck, honestly. And this is deep. I did not mean that. Was like by accident I went deep.
That's interesting. So where would you say, like, in 2020, how do you meet a man or a woman?
I don't know, because in 2020 I've been in the house.
Yeah. So
I guess we've been on lockdown.
Yeah.
I guess you know what? That is a great thing too. Like, how has this pandemic changed everything? Because now we don't have no other choice but to date online or meet through a dating app or Facebook, MySpace, Instagram. I don't know, whatever it is that you're still utilizing. But yeah, that's weird too. Like, do you think this pandemic is going to really change dating, like, for real?
I'm going to say not. I don't really think it's going to change it too drastically, because the majority of people that I know that are still out there dating and stuff usually are meeting people online or off.
So this is like
dating apps.
already been a thing.
Yeah, I think it's already been a thing.
So it's like a conversion.
Exactly.
Like the people who weren't doing it, they have to catch up to the people who were.
Exactly.
Oh, so there's like expert level online daters now introduced to the entry level.
The only problem is now when you meet someone online, is it going to be more difficult to actually meet up because you're like, okay, does this man wash his hands? You know what I mean?
Did this motherfucker cough 2 times
exactly.
or 3?
You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting too. I asked I did another poll because that's what we do before we have our nice little conversations here. We don't just ramble off the top of our head. We try to get feedback from others, and I asked people about their last first date.
Okay.
And a lot of it was pretty positive, even though it was during this pandemic time. A lot of people had good things to say. I personally haven't been on a date. What did I say this year? Let me think. I don't think I've been on, oh no, not a date. That's a lie. Like a first date. I haven't been on a first date during all of this. So I don't have a story to tell as far as how to date during the pandemic, but they definitely had some things to say. A lot of them are saying that men aren't interesting. There's like a lack of good conversation. And I don't even know how to take that because I talk all day.
Yeah, I kind of disagree with that, but I'm not, I'm sure it's based off their experience, but
wouldn't a lack of good conversation come from like people? Do you think that people are still able to communicate the same way? Like, remember the days where you can just sit down and talk to somebody for like hours at a time?
Yeah.
Now you start talking to somebody for 15 minutes, they're itching to get in their phone to scroll their notifications.
Yeah.
So maybe there's like a lot of distractions in the dating game. I don't know. But yeah. So good feedback, some bad feedback, but mostly positive. The only thing I can say is that they were either not physically attracted to them at all. And they also they gave examples of things that they were doing in this pandemic. A lot of people, someone said they went to the drive-in.
Oh, okay.
The drive-in movie. Someone also said that they went, they met at Lime Grill, which is like a taco spot, and they got food to go, and then they just like sat outside on the bench and ate. And
shout out to Lime.
Lime has explain and do what you do.
Lime is it Mexican grill? Is that what they call it?
Yes.
The tacos are delicious. They're so good.
Wait, pause. Yes. We're not getting our free advertisement. This taco place.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, that
it's good or whatever. I mean, like we've had better.
You know what? If you want a VickyB description, tell the restaurant, holla at us for promo.
No, but yeah, the lime is the shit though.
It is.
No, LOL. But yeah, but you could still describe the queso dip another time. But I just love when you do the. It was
food. But I will say the toppings, like the tomatoes, the cilantro. I don't even like cilantro. I only like it from there. Extremely fresh, very fresh.
Okay,
fresh. Yes.
Okay. No, but yeah. So they were just saying that the dates that they have been more conventional. And I asked, like, are you willing to go? Like, you know how some men are like, oh, well, we could just chill at my crib. We can Netflix and chill. So it's like Netflix and chill in the pandemic. Okay, like as a first date. Well, especially if you're kind of comfortable with God. Like,
exactly.
Not on some, oh, I met Ted Bundy on Facebook today and I'm gonna go chill at his crib kind of shit. It's like
I don't see a problem with that, only because it's like where the hell could we go? You know?
If we can't go outside.
Exactly. So I don't really see a problem with it per se. I don't think I would be like offended or bothered if a man said, okay, well, I'd like to meet you. Do you want to come over? I don't think I'd have a problem with it.
Cool. I don't say I would have a problem with it, but I would like a little bit more effort. Netflix and chill is like an automatic, like sometime during our dating experience, we're going to Netflix and chill.
Yeah.
So if our first date has to be Netflix and chill, I'm okay with it, but I would personally like a little bit more effort. I do appreciate the, hey, let's meet at this park. And, I don't care if you just go to Publix and get like 2 Publix subs and you got to get their peach lemonade. It's to die for. Get me 2 of them. I be thirsty. So, you know, like a little effort.
Yeah.
Some, you know, bring a cupcake, like, and then, you know, get the bouquet of flowers. Like, be player about it, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. No, I
So,
agree.
I would totally appreciate that. But I wonder if men actually doing that. I really need to go on a date. I'm going to go on a date. I'm just throwing it out in the atmosphere because God is good and He's going to
Amen.
give me a good old Prince Charming
Amen.
man who does not even want to date. Just say, you know what, you're my wife. Let's get married so I can be good to him. Because if I date him, he's not gonna want to be with me. And I'm gonna go on a really good date, and I'm going to follow up with this. So
Wonderful.
remember episode 12. At some point during the season, I'm gonna go tell y'all to come back to episode 12, and y'all will hear my add-on about my date.
Okay, perfect.
That I'll give you guys that one. But yeah. So what would you say is a good first date though?
In general or pandemic time first date?
Whichever one comes to mind.
I'm gonna say in general, a good first date for me, personally, has to involve food. Because I like to eat. Like seriously speaking. And it's a great place to have conversation. I have trouble understanding why people have first dates at, oh, let's go see a movie. Because it's like, okay, well, did you?
I've had some of the best first date had at a movie, but that's
what?
There.
What?
I didn't mean to say that out loud.
Oh my God. Okay. But yeah, I don't get how you get to know each other when you're in a movie because you're not really supposed to be talking or anything like that. So, yeah, for me, it'd probably be like a restaurant setting or a picnic or something like that where there's food involved and conversation.
Would you go Dutch on a date? First date?
Yeah, I would.
Any date, honestly.
If it was the first date, it would be the last date. If it was the second date, that would be the last date. If it was the third, it would be the last date. Because let me tell you something. No.
Why won't you go Dutch? Tell me why.
Because are we on a date? Because honestly, I would rather pay for your ass than for you to ask me, do you want to go Dutch?
Okay, so so on the first date, you're willing to pay.
I'm not saying that I'm willing to, but I would rather do that over than pay Dutch.
I agree. I'm never paying Dutch with nobody.
No.
That's something I will absolutely, like, that is a deal breaker for me. A man asked me to pay Dutch, I would be severely offended. If he asked me to pay, I would be offended too, but I would naturally try to pay before he actually pays.
Exactly. Or even
not on the first date, or not all the time, but definitely, you know, I can see it happening before. Like, I think about just like men listening, guys. Let me just tap on this. You out there, don't ever, like, that's like first date, second date, relationship suicide. I don't care if the date is good, bad, or ugly. Don't go Dutch. Okay, that's like. And not what.
Have you ever had the Dutch conversation? I've never even had.
I don't entertain men who have that mindset.
Yeah. So okay, you don't know how that goes then. Okay.
I couldn't even tell you. I have had a nigga leave his wallet in the car, and it really was in the car. Like, you know how you just get out and you know it. So it was, you know, let me go to the car, and I'm like the whole time looking out the window like, this bitch better come back and pay this bill. Now I've had that happen, and then I did take care of it, and I just met him at the car.
Yeah.
And he later on cash apped it to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've had that happen before, and I'm okay with that. Like, who doesn't leave, you know, something in the car? But don't leave your fucking wallet at home either. Not at home.
Don't leave your wallet. Leave your wallet on your persons at all times. Like,
because the audacity.
That's exactly it. I'm just wondering, because I've heard stories of like, oh, I went out to eat, and at the end, like, we just stared at each other for a little while. So I was like, whatever, I'll just pay for it. Or he's like, okay, so yours.
I can't even imagine that. Just sitting there awkwardly waiting for someone to handle the bill.
I'm telling you, I've heard of at the end of the date. Okay, well, you had the fries. And I had.
Oh my God, that is the worst.
Yep,
that is worse. Like the penny. Oh my, you just turned me off. I don't want to talk anymore. Can we do this tomorrow?
Yeah, we could.
Honestly, if you really wanna. No, but that would turn me off so bad. Like, oh, you had fries. Well, I had a medium. No, you had the large. Ooh, child.
That's a situation where I would be like, you know what, I'll just pay for all of this.
And I feel that if I pay for it in that type of manner, that is my way of letting you know you can do absolutely shit for me.
Exactly.
I've actually had that happen. I was this was a couple of years ago, so this isn't, I don't care if, hey, you, if you're listening, fuck you. I was, and I'll never forget because I had been on a date with him before, so I wasn't really awkward. But we had just met, like, you know how I was like, hey, where you at? Well, where you at? Okay, well, let's just meet here because it's convenient. What's the place called? Ale House. We just met at Ale House in the middle of the day just to try to reconnect. And the whole time this guy had an attitude. His attitude was so fucking funky that I was just like, I could have stayed home for this. But, you know, I'm still being bubbly. I'm still being nice. I'm trying to lighten the mood, you know, trying to be, you know, interested, even though he's irking my fucking nerves.
Yeah.
And, you know, we ended up talking about some, like, I think this is when Kanye West said that it's slavery a choice type shit.
Okay.
And then, you know, I'm not going to say that I believe slavery is a choice because that's obviously very ignorant, but I understood what Kanye West was trying to say, whether he said it the way he meant it or not.
Okay.
And we had this long drawn out conversation, then a long moment of awkward silence. And he's like, you're so beautiful to me. I love how passionate you are. And the whole time I'm fuming because, like, I'm just disgusted. Like, I wasted my time. Like, so I'm like, you know, whatever. Then he gets really quiet again. And I'm like, okay. And we get the check and he goes to pay. I'm like, no. I got it. Pay for it. Greg, I put my car on 2 wheels. That's how fast I hit the block. I was out of that. And he, what's wrong? And did you make it home? No, bitch. I ain't make it home. I made it to the next nigga house.
Okay.
He aggravated the fuck out of me. No, I never make it to the next nigga house. I made it home, but he didn't know that.
So this is a perfect question, like perfect timing for this. How do you, when you go on the first date, and you're like, you know what, that wasn't it, how do you let him know, or how do you end that relationship?
I ain't shit. I'm a ghoster. I'm more of a, hey, no, I'm not a ghoster. I'm not. I just kind of like don't talk to you anymore. And when you do call, it's like, okay, well, all right, well, I'll talk to you another time. You know, kind of make it really dry purposely.
Yeah.
So that they can feel the vibe, like, so that you would not want to talk to me. Like, I kind of give you the responsibility of ghosting me, even though I've already in my mind ghosted you. I be feeling bad. So I kind of let people feel like they shitted on me, even though it was pre-planned.
Okay, gotcha.
How would you in your dreams not respond to a second date?
There was a time, it was a nightmare once again. I went out with a gentleman in this dream, people, and we went out for dinner, and we went somewhere like a steakhouse, so it was somewhat expensive. And he paid, and I realized after, I'm like, yeah, I really don't like you. Like, I just don't like you. And I will tell the person, like, I don't like you. Like, if you hit me up after, I'll be like, yeah, no, I don't like you. And so I guess,
do you say I don't like you, or I'm not interested in you, or you just really
I just say I don't like you? What do you mean, Bubba? I had such a great time, so on and so forth. Yeah, but no, I don't like you. Like, sometimes I've even said, like, I can't stand your face, because some people that's just how I felt at the time. So he was messaging me after. This was like in the, let me not put a timestamp on it, actually. This was back in the day. And at some point when I was telling him, like, I don't like him, blah, 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 he's like, I can't believe this. You know, I've never done this for any girl. I never done
this. I hate that. That's their favorite line.
Yeah.
I never treated anybody the way you treated. That's why your ass did it wrong.
Exactly.
You ain't got enough experience.
I usually go to, like, this place with girls and blah, blah, blah.
Red Lobster.
Yep. So one day he was, like, in my area, and he tried to hit me up again. And he's like, oh, I'm in the area, so on and so forth. And it was actually the perfect timing because my dad happened to be at the house. So I told him to stop by. When he stopped by, he came into my driveway, and I told him, hey, do you want to meet my dad? And so he was, like, all excited or whatever, right? So then my dad came out and was like, oh, daddy, this is blah, blah, blah. And blah, 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 this is daddy. And so he's, like, meeting my dad. And after I said, daddy, I went out with this guy, and I told him I don't like him. And he brought up the fact that he took me to a steakhouse. Could you please give him his $150 back right now, please? Give him his money back. I was in college at the time. So
your dad gave him
my dad gave him his money back. And my dad's like, wow, he's explaining to him, you are not a man. Like, a man does not say stuff like that. If you take a woman out, blah, blah, my dad was telling him all this stuff.
No, don't blah, 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 please.
Oh, no, I'll repeat it. My dad was saying, you are not a man. Whenever you do something for a woman, you should never be repeating or throwing that back into their face. Like, you would be so lucky to be talking to my daughter. He wasn't like yelling or anything, but he was just like kind of schooling him. If you keep thinking that way, you'll never have a woman in your life. Yeah, you'll probably have a girlfriend or a little girl, but you'll never have a woman in your life. I did not raise my daughter to be around any type of man like you, that type of stuff. And so he gave him his $150 back. He was like refusing to take it, but he ended up taking it. And I asked him to politely.
Of course he did.
Yeah, and I politely asked him to get the fuck off my driveway.
First of all, I just want to commend Mr. Gustav. Mm-hmm. He obviously is a better man than I would have been.
What would you have been?
Who? Oh, she did. I would have showed him $150 and I would have given it to you.
Yeah.
And said, oh, she can get $150 anytime, anywhere.
Yeah.
Your dad did it wrong, but he did it right, but wrong better than me.
Mm-hmm. No, but take that little $150 and shove it up your ass, nigga.
Okay, so do you think that men are tight on or very specific in remembering how much they spent on each date because they're dating multiple people? And do you recommend dating multiples?
I do think men remember how much they spend on each date, but I think if there was multiple people, it would be hard to keep up on how much you're spending.
Not if a nigga penny pitching. Like, they definitely have a $500 budget. Mm-hmm. I like Rachel $150 worth. I like Mocha $75 worth. So I don't know. I do think that we should definitely date multiples, and I find that a lot of times that people don't realize that dating is not cheap,
not at all,
or free.
Yeah,
for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Even for a woman. Like, the thing is that men fall in love with their eyes, women fall in love with their ears and how they're treated.
Yeah,
that's just normal. But in order for you to fall in love through your eyes, we have to have our hair done.
Mm-hmm.
We have to get it pressed, flattened, whether it's weave, natural, or so, and whatever. Don't start that. Just wear your natural hair, because
that's very expensive to be a naturalista.
Even if you're being natural, the shit costs money. But nonetheless, you niggas don't even know what naturals is. But I'm not gonna go there, because then that's a whole nother thing. You ever asked a man to show you a natural woman?
Yes, I have.
What can you explain? Sidebar. This is sidebar. I'll get back on point. But okay. What is the natural woman that a man usually shows to you?
A woman that has when you beat your face pre-contour, eyeshadow, that type of stuff, or you're wearing a very neutral colored eyeshadow. She's got a weave-in that looks like a relaxer most times. Her body's not natural, but they think it is because she's covered up.
She didn't overdo it.
Exactly.
She wore the right thing.
Exactly. That's what I've been seeing whenever I ask that question.
Whenever I ask a man what's natural, they send me this curly haired, perky breast, lip gloss, a natural eyeliner, bright skinned woman.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of offensive, because it's like, y'all don't even know what a natural woman looks like, and it's kind of offensive that we are actually being natural most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But when we're dressing up for you, let's get back to what I was saying. The shit is expensive on both ends.
Yes,
I have to look away, feel away, and smell away for you.
Mm-hmm.
And like I always say, niggas gonna bring out those same $50 jeans. They just got the Jordans that they was gonna get, whether they went on this date or went to the mall with the boys, and a shirt that they've worn a few times. Like, y'all ain't really doing much, and get a tape up, $15-$20. Women expenses are way different. Not sitting here saying that that's why men pay for dates, but dating could just be expensive. More of the story. So dating multiple people at once, like
I say women date multiple people at once, because the person that you're dating is probably like 90% of the time doing the same thing. So don't get your.
Do you think that that's a good practice, though?
To
multi-date?
I do, yeah, because you might think you like Tom, but you really like Jerry.
I think that multi-dating works better when you're younger, and then you have to slow it down when you get older.
Okay.
not saying that, okay, like, so when I say multi-date, I mean, like, okay, when I was 25, I probably can juggle dating 5 men. Okay. But now that I'm older than 29, I don't have the same patience to date 5, maybe 2 or 3. And when I say date, it's like converse with this one a couple of times. Like, you have to, the thing is, you're never supposed to just have all your eggs in one basket until you get to a point of understanding with someone, because you could be sitting here falling for somebody and he just telling you the same thing. He done picked up the same conversation from another phone call. So you think he just have all these great conversation skills, and then he's just trash because he talked to Tammy an hour ago and she sparked something in his mind and he's just flowing on to that conversation with you.
Exactly.
And saying, I was talking to a friend earlier, and then now the conversation is real good and juicy, but it's only stemming from the fact that he's dating multiple people. So yeah, I didn't think that it's good and healthy, but then it's like, at what point? When do you have that conversation and say, hey, we're gonna date each other exclusively? How long, like what, how does that go?
I'm the first to admit that I'm a bit of a psychopath. So I would have no problem, like, once I realize, okay, I like you, I have no problem saying, like, okay, what are we doing here? Because I don't want to like you, and you're talking to a bunch of other girls, because then I have to kill you, and then I'm going to go to jail just because I like somebody. You know what I mean?
All right. I don't know what you mean, but I feel you.
No, I don't. How do you have that conversation, or have you had that conversation?
I'm sure I have. I like to make things very clear. Okay. I am not jealous at all. I'm not a jealous woman, but I am possessive. And I don't mean like toxically possessive, like, oh, you can't go out the house. It's like, if we're going to do something, I operate better knowing that I am the one, or knowing that you're the one. So like I said, that's pretty much how I feel about the dating versus being like a wife thing. I know I have it in me to be a wife, but dating, unless the guy is dating me on some, I like to be pursued strongly. Like, you can't be soft on me. If like you like me, you gotta tell me, text me, make it known. Hey, have a plan for us already set. Don't just freestyle it with me.
Okay.
And yeah, I like to know, and we have to have that conversation, because otherwise I'm just going, hey, big head, how are you? Oh, that's great. And then that would be our day.
So what do you do in the event that the feeling is not reciprocated at that time yet?
What, a man wanting to date me?
Yeah, we'll use you as an example, but like, I'm wondering for other people, like, if you say, okay, Jerry, I don't know where I'm coming up with these names. Jerry, I really like you. I'm thinking that we should maybe be exclusive. And Jerry says to you, listen, like, I really like getting to know you and all that stuff, but right now is not a good time for me because blah, blah, blah. But I do want to still keep talking to you, and I still want to keep.
Then, I've never actually had that happen, because men ain't that real.
Okay.
I do know that when a man tells you that he not ready, you need to listen.
Oh, 100%.
I know if he tells you it ain't you, it ain't you. There's nothing you can do to make it you. And I would just gladly take that advice, and I would go on about my business and, hey, big head, somebody else.
Okay.
But I never had that happen. Men who I like generally like me back. I don't know if they just like me back, because you know what I have found recently though?
What?
A lot of men are scared to pursue women that they really like.
Yep. Tell it.
I found that they rather not say shit.
Yep.
And I asked the other day, I said, what is your fear? What are you scared of to tell the person that you like that you like them? And 99.5%, that's just me making up percentages, but like almost every answer was rejection. Guess what? So what? If they say no, shoot your shot, somebody else.
Yeah.
But yeah, men are scared.
Very.
And it's like, only thing she can do is say no. And then if she says no, it's even better for you, because now you won't be wasting your energy, your mental capacity, wondering what if, what could have, what should have been. she ain't it. On to the next, and you can feel good in your decisions. Ugh, yeah, I don't understand why they're scared. And a lot of men say that they're intimidated by the fear of that rejection, not intimidated by the woman.
I know
Have
a
you
lot
ever
of
heard?
men will say I've seen such and such, like we've hung out like 30 times with our friend group and all that stuff, and I've always wanted to talk to her, but I didn't talk to her because like I know she's gonna shut me down. She's gonna shut me down. She's gonna shut me down. But why didn't you just tell her? Because that girl actually really liked you.
Yeah, and then a lot of time, I think that women are used to being the ones that are being pursued.
Yeah.
That they don't know how to see that a man actually likes them, but are like, again, like I said, we don't even know half the time these men have whole heart crushes, or have been wanting to speak to us but just won't. And it's like, hey, if you even speak to somebody for 5 minutes, you can say, oh, well, she's not as mean as I thought she was. It seems like, she's nice and friendly. Like, shoot your shot.
I was just about to say, what I do like about 2020 or these days, as opposed to like 10 years ago, people are more willing to shoot their shot. That's men and women are willing to be like, hey, what's up? What do you?
You find?
I do. I
don't see it. I mean, I know people are shooting their shots.
Yes.
But I think more women are willing to shoot their shots. And that's why more relationships are successful when a woman is the pursuer. And that's a statistic. For real. I can't remember the numbers, but it said that relationships where the woman was the aggressor and the pursuing, they end up with a more successful I guess relationship, like chances of being together.
I do know men generally appreciate a
easy battle.
Yeah, like a take charge.
And I don't mean like an
woman.
Easy woman. Like, it doesn't mean that she's easy or just gonna sleep with him on the first day because she likes him. I'm saying like half the hard part is over. It's like, oh my God, she likes me back, so I can just be myself now.
Yeah.
Because she already, knows that I'm lame already. So that's cool. I find that in 2020, and I actually had this conversation, I find that, okay, I had the girls listen to a book called the Marry Him, the Case for Settling for Mr. Good Enough, the Case of Mr. Good Enough, something like that.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, it's a very insightful book, and it talks about something called toxic maximizers.
Okay.
And long story short, because you know how I get with my theories, a toxic maximizer is basically a person who always wants better. Always. So it's like you go into the mall and let's just say you're looking for a red sweater. And you go into JCPenney, you find a very nice red sweater and it is soft, it's in your price range, it looks good, it's flattering to your body. And you say, you know what? Let me put this in the back of the rack because I still want to go into Forever 21.
Yep.
You go into Forever 21, you find another sweater. Doesn't really beat the first sweater that you saw. So then you say, you know what? There was a really good sweater inside of give me a store reach. Marshalls.
Yeah.
And so you go to that store and you're like, I don't really like it. Then you go back to JCPenney and guess what happens?
It's gone.
The first sweater that was absolutely perfect for you is no longer there. So a toxic maximizer is basically someone who's always looking for the next best thing. And then honestly, they're screwing themselves over because it doesn't really get better.
Yeah.
The more chances you give it. And something that I do totally agree on, and it was because of this book, like I said, the book was super insightful, is the musical chair theory.
Okay.
That dating is like musical chairs. If you don't grab a seat, all the good ones will be taken. So it's like the longer you wait to sit down, you're probably going to run out of seats. Very good theory, because honestly, the best chances we had for dating was between 20 and 30. The older you get, the rougher it gets.
Yeah, it's harder too.
Anyways, I think it's a good time to go for a commercial.
Let's do it.
And we'll...
So I kind of consider myself a cake connoisseur. I love cake. My cakes have to be soft, moist, and have the perfect amount of sweetness. The icing to cake ratio has got to be on point. Cookies Cakes always gets it right. You can order cupcakes or custom cakes and you will be hooked. Follow Cookies Cakes on Facebook and I Heart Cookies Cakes on IG to place your orders, and make sure you tell them the Hair God sent you.
All right, so before the break, we were talking about toxic maximizers, and what I was saying was basically a toxic maximizer is a person who's going to always think that there's better out there.
Mm-hmm.
And truthfully, the older we get, time is not our best friend. Honestly, good men find good women, and it happens over time swiftly. Every person who's an 8 becomes a 7, including yourself. So the person who's looking, and even though you're a 10, let's just say 10's looking for 10s,
Okay.
as time goes by, your 10 becomes a 9. Your 9 becomes an 8. It's gonna always go down because age and the fact that other people are becoming better too. So like the variations of the variables change,
Mm-hmm.
and makes your 8 turn into a 6 easily. So while you're toxic maximizer looking constantly for a 10, you're wasting your youth because now your 10 is becoming a 9, 8, 7, 6, whatever. And yeah, so you're missing out on people that would actually be pretty good for you, thinking that there's always someone better.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on the flip side, there is something called a satisfizer, which basically a person who just says, hey, nothing's perfect in life. I like him. He likes me. We're just going to make this thing work. That person is usually good with good enough. And I realized I am a toxic maximizer to some extent.
Okay.
But I also realized that in dating, these men are toxic maximizers too. And yeah, that has been my experience, is that all the most toxic thing that I can say that in the dating world personally is that everyone wants, like, people. Okay, here's the better way to say it. People who are actually good catch, like a good person with a good resume, are the worst people to date, because they feel like they're so good, like that they're like God's gift to somebody. Okay. So it's been like the most toxic experience to me to date someone who actually is really great on paper, because now they feel like they have more options, and they don't have any more options than anybody else, because they're being a toxic maximizer too.
Because of the way they view themselves?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's kind of like, oh, well, I know I'm the shit, so why I need you?
Why I need you?
Yeah. Well, then it's like, why I need you?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
then it's like a competition of, oh, well, I don't need you because I have my own house. Well, I don't need you because I have my own house. Well, I don't need you because I have a good job. I don't need you because I have a good job. Oh, I don't need you because my mama taught me how to cook. Well, I don't need you because my mama taught me how to cook. So it's like, that has been like, for me, and it's so disgusting because, like, my favorite thing to say is gender roles. I don't care if you're not a cook. I don't care if you're not a clean. Nigga, can you be a man? Because I can be a woman. I'm really good at that shit. And that's something you cannot do. And they still won't see the value in it, because they're going to say, oh, I can pay my own bills and I can cook my own meals. What? If that's what you think a woman's worth is for, ugh, disgusting.
But then, be by yourself.
And they are.
And leave people's daughters alone.
And here's the flip side. There's two things that I have to say too, and I hate to ramble on because, like, ugh, I hate it. But for the men who think that I can have any girl I want and yada yada yada, and she can go half with me and we can live this grand life. Mm-hmm. Honestly, a woman who's single doesn't have to go half with anybody, because there's probably like 5 men who are willing to pay all of her bills. So the fact that she's settling down with one takes away 4 other men doing shit for her. Mm-hmm. So the least that you can do is your part, so that she doesn't have to go half with you to do your part. Is that makes sense?
It makes sense what you're saying, yeah.
And of course, there's women who nobody does shit for them and they do everything for themselves. But a woman always has a way to make money. or get money, or men are they love to spoil women. Good men love to spoil women. Not gonna say good men. Men who like you will do whatever it is to have you. So,
and that's a major key in this conversation.
Men who like you will
Thank you.
do anything they can to have you.
Okay.
And here's the thing that men don't consider. A lot of men cannot get the women that they like. They get the women who they can get.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that there aren't men who choose, because men have to choose their wives. That's very much so true. You can choose a good woman for you. You will find a good woman for you out there. That's a promise. But I can guarantee you that 50%, half of those men are not marrying or getting or dating the women they actually really want to be with. And let me tell you why. Rappers, they be so in love with the neighborhood girl while they're down, broken out. And what's the guy name who had the baby mama and ends up showing his baby mama, and she was dark skinned on the heavier side, and then they was like, oh,
Moneybag Yo.
Then he got money, then all of a sudden he's dating all these model looking chicks. Not saying that woman was not great for him. He probably loved her with everything in him. She's probably the best thing that ever happened to him. But is that the woman he wants, or that's the woman he could have got when he had nothing? And a lot of men, they refuse to say, you know what? I'm dating what I can get. And I'm not going to even say what they can get, because sometimes they do luck up and get the woman that they actually really are head over heels for. But the chances of that happening are few and far between. Now, I don't know. That's just me talking in theory, my little theory. But I just say, men, listen, I'm not, and it's not a elite way to go 50-50, but I'm just saying, like, dating is weird these days. I'm not going to.
It is. It's weird. I agree with you that it's weird these days, because the other day I'm having a conversation with my single friend, and I'm asking her, what's going on? Like, are you dating? Are you talking to anyone? And she's telling me, no, I'm not, because these niggas is weird. Like, when I talk to one, like, I'll meet one on, I don't know, an app, and I'll be talking to one, and just because I was answering you every 5 minutes before, and now I'm answering you every hour because I'm doing something, why does that bother you? And I'm like, okay, well, why were you answering every 5 minutes? Well, because I was answering, and then I felt like I was being too available. So I started to take time gaps. I'm like, okay, what does that do? Well, that shows them that I'm busy and I'm doing stuff.
And so,
okay.
Well, what is so again, dating games? Let me older people. Oh, every time I go to talking, I just want to just shake my head, because I hate talking like from experience, but this is from experience. As you all know, I had my first child after 30. I didn't jump off the porch early. But one thing I did notice when I did not have a child, and now that I have one, is that men that are like 30, 31, 32, 33 or older who don't have kids are so desperate. They are so aggressively, like, if you don't have kids and they don't have kids, you're their wife. And they don't care about nothing else except, I got to make it work with her. She don't got no kids. I don't got no kids. She's perfect for me. It was to the point where it was disgusting. I was like, okay, dude, you don't even know me. Like, that is what I found after 30. And like, even the men who had a good job and, didn't have, it's like, what is the rush? Like, the amount of pressure.
You think that would have been different had you had a child before 30? Like, let's say you had a child at 25. Do you think it's the age that changed the perspective?
No, it's not their age. It's the fact that they're finally at a point where things are good enough for them to want to have children, and they're realizing that, damn, everybody already got kids. I want to experience this on my own with my own woman. And there's like 10 women that are over 30 without children, and they are trying to make whichever one that is attracted back to them in any way the one. Like, it's like, chill.
One thing I didn't like in my time that I was dating was, I've never been the type that, how they'll, hello, good morning, beautiful, You're so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
You are my wife. I'm gonna marry you. All that stuff. I never took none of that shit. Like, I didn't give a damn. I was like, oh God, shut the fuck up. You ever look at your phone and see a text and shut the fuck up?
Yeah, I do like the good morning beautifuls.
Yeah, no,
Not just
it's
the good
nice.
morning beautiful, but it's like you switch it up. Like I really had a dude who was really clear with it.
Mhm.
Good morning luscious, and it just would be so funny because it's like, who uses the word fucking luscious?
Yeah.
But it made me smile, and I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Um,
I like it, but I don't. Okay, some people will get the good morning beautiful and be like, oh my God, we go together. What?
oh yeah, no.
But
And let me tell you something. These niggas were good morning beautiful fucking Shrek. So
and they will good morning beautiful their whole entire contact list.
yeah, so I don't feel that. That's why the conversation and texting while dating. I how can you get to, like, if you're gonna text me all day and we're
Mhm.
dating, then you might as well just be my friend on Facebook. Because what if you don't want to hear my voice, you don't want to see me, you don't want to go on a date with me. I hate that, like the 100 text messages before we have, like, I want to old school it where I'm sitting in my living room with my feet kicked up in the air, twirling my hair,
Just cupcaking.
and be like, so you hang up. No, you hang up. Okay, we gonna hang up on 3. 1, 2, 3. You didn't hang up.
You see, but that's if you like the nigga. Like, sometimes you're getting to know a nigga and it's, you know what I can't stand? I'm so sorry. My ADD's acting up. I cannot stand that part in dating where it's, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite color?
Oh yeah.
How old were you in this? How old were you in
I
this?
have gotten to the point where I don't ask questions anymore. Listen,
Oof.
I'm old enough to know that nigga gonna show you better than they can tell you.
Okay.
So at this point, nigga, you got a job? Yeah. Where you work, I don't care. You have somewhere to live that ain't your mama's? Okay, great. You have roommates? Okay, great. You got a car? Because I'm not picking you up or dropping you off. Okay, well, we'll figure the rest out as we go.
So how's the
No.
weather?
Like, yeah, so hey, how was your day, boo? I don't want you to tell me in details. Like, I don't care. This is exactly why I'm not a good girlfriend, because I don't give a fuck. I don't want to know what you ate today.
Yep.
I don't want to know any of that. I don't like small talk. Don't
Yeah,
call me
me
for
too.
anything.
That's why I low key would prefer a bit of texting, because don't call me talking about what are you doing? I'm watching TV. Oh, and then dead silence for like 2 minutes. What are you calling me for?
That's why I said I like,
Ooh.
and then that has to be, there has to be some type of excitement about your, like, you have to be a passionate person about something. Because I would prefer you call and say, babe, I had a real fucked up day. Let me tell you about this nigga at my job. And they're like, oh, okay, what's up? Then, oh, my day was all right. It was pretty good. Oh, it was okay. Oh, I hate small talk. Like, if you're calling me for that, you're aggravating the fuck out of me. And I am so easily aggravated that is why, again, I don't make a good girlfriend. I have fun.
One of the conversations that we have in the lounge a lot of the times when, people are going out on a date is, what are some good questions to ask on a first date?
Which ones did you get?
One of my favorite questions.
I was gonna say I have a very good one, but go ahead.
One of my favorite. I gotta know if you have children. Not that it bothers me. I love kids. It doesn't bother me. I just want to see how you react when I ask you if you have children, because a lot of men will be like, "Damn, if I say I have 4 kids, or damn, if I say I have 2 different baby mothers, like, what's gonna happen?" I like to see if you're gonna be honest about that. I want to know, like, what, not to say like what are your dreams and ambition, but like, what are you about? Like, what do you want from me?
I have very different questions. Because again, I really enjoy very deep conversation. And I always be like, okay, so first things first, do Black lives matter or do all lives matter?
Okay.
That starts a conversation. I always ask, what would you do if you had a lesbian or gay son?
Okay.
Or daughter or son? What was your dream? What is your dream job, and what are you doing to pursue it? Like, I try to really go deep, because all the other stuff is pre-planned, and I don't care about how many kids you have, because I already did my research. But you got 2 of them, and you look like you got a 3rd on the way. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. Yeah, and I just try to ask really deep questions so that the date can go it can flow in the direction that I want it to. But I always definitely start off with Black Lives Matter or All Lives, because I need to know: are you us or us? So I know. I need to know. I'm sorry.
I
It's
need to
important to
know.
me.
I need to know who's paying for this meal because we going out to eat.
Do you believe in Dutch? Or...
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good one. But yeah, I haven't been on a, like. Do you remember your first date?
I don't remember my first date. I'm trying to think as I'm speaking. Do you remember yours? And then we can come back to me. I'm trying to think.
I don't even remember my first date. I do remember my, like, the first people I dated, and I do remember a date we went on. We went to the movies, and then we went to Red Lobster, because, you know, when we were in 2004, 5, 6, Red Lobster was the spot. Like, so y'all can sit here and act the Diddy all you want to.
It's still good.
Red Lobster was the spot in 2002, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I do remember being out on a date with this one guy, and he was like, oh, he the boss, and he gonna have, like, it was just hilarious. And it was just, he acted like he knew everyone in the restaurant. It was just, we were just acting, and it was just so funny because he was so serious, and he was so, like, confident in himself and so cocky. And I was like, oh.
Now, did he work at this Red Lobster?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
Hell, shit. I don't know. No, but no,
maybe.
No, but he just made it seem like, oh, I got connections here. Don't worry. No, no connections. But it was just really cute. But that's like one of the first dates that I can remember,
right?
Yeah, but I don't know what my first date is, and I don't know if I'm old or it was uneventful. But
yeah, I feel like it had to do with like a movie theater, and I was like, it was uneventful, and I honestly can't even remember who the person was. To be honest,
that's the thing. Is like I remember. Like, okay, well, I've been on. I can remember my boyfriends, so, but I can't remember the first dates. Like, and I try to explain to teenagers and young girls all the time that don't ever spend too much time on anything right now, because honestly, you're not gonna remember any of this shit in 10 years. Like, it's not going to mean a thing to you. And that's something that I'm so glad we had the experience of. Like, you know, you've been through so much stuff that the things that used to be crying in bed at night, like, oh my God, he doesn't love me. Well, you couldn't get a reaction out of the same person 10 years later. And I love that about life.
Like it gets greater later.
It does.
Like, oh God.
You know what I find though? We had an article that said that a lot of women feel like it's the man's responsibility to be the romantic one while dating.
Yes.
Do you feel like women, while being courted, should be romantic?
During the courting process?
Yes.
To be completely honest, and once again, this is my opinion, I don't think that women should be too romantic in the courting stages, because you're courting me. I'm not courting you.
So who says that men can't be courted though?
No, I'm talking about me. I'm not courting a man.
Okay, I'm not courting one either. But do you believe that men can be courted though?
I think they can, but I feel like if I were to ever court a man, I would look at him very differently. Because now you my bitch.
Oh. You know what? Have you ever had someone go through all types of leaps and bounds to get you, and then be like a fuck nigga?
I had a nightmare, a few of them, in which that happened. Yes, 100%.
Yeah. It's like, why do the men who? But I think that in life that it's just human nature to go with the chase. Like, people like the chase more than they like the catch.
They do.
And it doesn't matter whether you're the best catch in the world. It's just people enjoy the catch. And it's the same thing even when you're talking about sex. And a lot of men missed out on this in their earlier years, but they find it now that the buildup, that passion, the foreplay, the, you know, all that is better than the 2 minutes of dry humping. Like, you know, it's just better than the actual sex itself.
Yeah.
And the buildup, that chase, it has all these chemicals in it. It has these morphine, what is it called? Endorphins in it that makes you sizzle and jizzle differently. And I feel like people like the chase. They don't. They don't care for the catch.
Now that we've discussed how, it gets greater later and all that stuff, how do you, as someone, not you personally, just in general, how do you, as someone who's like, oh, I'm tired of dating, I'm tired of, I can't trust these niggas, I can't do this, I can't do that, how do you break that down? Because you want to start a family, or you want to be in a relationship, you just don't want to do the process of getting into one. How do
I
you
think that the older we get, we need to know this.
Mm-hmm.
Do not be picky. Be happy.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of people who have already found, left, or lost the love of their lives
Mm-hmm.
because of something that they would grow out of.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, I don't like gamers. I don't like men who play the video game all day.
Mm-hmm.
That is, to me, a big turnoff.
Yeah.
But in 10 years, would that matter to me?
Probably not.
Probably not. So why not settle, or, not settle for, like, as I'm settling,
compromise,
but compromise that so
Mm-hmm.
that I could still be happy with that person, instead of being picky that they're a gamer, but they make me happy everywhere else and all across
Mm-hmm.
the board. And because at 25, it may bother me so much because I hated a gamer. But at 35, it's like, oh, I'm so glad he has his game, because I don't feel like talking to that nigga today anyways.
Yeah.
Like, he's lost in the game today.
Mm-hmm.
So you made the same mistakes in life, but you still would have appreciated that same person had you compromised on certain things.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say definitely learn not to be picky about certain things.
Yeah.
And learn to be happy.
I agree with that 100%. I do think one of the main things that I usually tell people is to be willing to compromise some of the things that everybody has their little list. He has to be like 6'10" or whatever. Can a nigga not be 6'5"? Like, is it really that serious? Is that gonna make or break?
I love a 6'5", man.
But you know what I mean? Like, is that really gonna make or break the type of person he is, or what he's willing to bring to the table?
There was another question that was asked, and the truth really hurt these men's feelings.
Mm.
Do short guys miss out? Do short guys lose out on a lot of good women? Good women. So, yeah. I definitely agree. So, because like, one of the best men I know is like 5'6". He'll say he's 5'9", child, but he's like 5'6". Mm-hmm. That's really my problem with niggas that are short, is that you're 5'5". Like, stop telling people 5'7", because we're gonna have to stand next to each other. And I know I'm 5'7" for real. I have no reason to lie. Yeah. But yeah, like, a lot of women miss out on good men because of height. Yep. Height is more important to women than weight. A woman will talk to a bigger guy that's like 340 pounds, as long as he's like 6'4". Yeah, because will not he can lose weight. He's not going to grow anymore. Yeah, but even if he has no intentions on losing weight, they'd rather talk to a big guy than a short guy. And I just get the short guy some stilettos or some platforms, so you'll be all right. You get a nigga some stilettos and tell us how that works. No, but another thing that I would say that would probably help if you're in this dating game is be open-minded. Yes. I think that the older we get, we kind of get stuck in our ways. Mm-hmm. And you got to know that you're probably not going to meet the love of your life at church, no matter how much you go to church and how, you found God. That's probably not going to be like the only spot, and definitely not going to be like, you have to be willing to go outside of that a little bit, because even niggas in church is weird, so, just give yourself more options. I definitely think that you have to also, because a lot of people are like, oh, all we talk about is this, or all we talk about is that. Well, then diversify your knowledge in different topics so that you guys can talk about other things besides whatever it is that you continue to talk about. A lot of people have like awkward conversations on the phone because it's like, talk about something else, like bring something else up, but they can't do it because they only talk about that one thing. Exactly. I agree. So yeah, I think reading a fucking book, that would help. Oh, for sure. Or listening to an audiobook. Or listen to the Gawdess Lounge on Apple, Spotify, okay, whatever it is that you use. But yeah, I think that being able to be well-rounded Stop being in a box. Stop putting everyone in the box. Stop thinking that everyone grew up like you.
Yeah. Stop going to the same spaces. Go different places. Like,
I agree. There's actually a list that says 20 different ways to successfully find love in 2020.
Yeah.
And it says, 1, put yourself out there. Just basically, putting yourself out there. 2, take a class. And you know what? I have to stop here because I say that is so true, because not that and it doesn't even have to be a college course, but I'm just going to compare it to that because where I have the experience at. You're going to meet so many diverse individuals in college
Very
or
important.
in a class, and you'll know that they're into to something and it's important to them. Like, I met the most diverse men in school, and it had nothing to do with me trying to date them, but had I never went to school, I wouldn't know 10 of the 12 good guys that I know, you know?
Yeah.
Another one is 3 is perform volunteer work. 4, be open to finding love in all different places. Like we just said, I had a friend who would not go to bars or quote unquote strip clubs. In Miami, if you live in South Florida where we do, the strip club is kind of like a bar. Like, it's not necessarily
raunchy
the strip club. Yeah. So I'm not gonna say go to the strip club looking for love, because that's definitely not what I'm saying. I'm just saying
the shade.
Be open to looking in different places, and sometimes it might just be a bar, even though you just love Bible study. Network with dates who didn't work out.
Hey, you got a friend?
If you date and don't work out, but you really like the person's character, there are no reason you can't help each other. Network to, basically, it's just saying that if you network with them, like, you might not think that they're going to be your man, but they say, oh, hey, let's go to this bike club. And then he has 4 other friends that are kind of like him, but a different, sometimes you meet the lame friend first. So it says, ask people in your life to set you up. 7, it says leave selfies and filters in 2019.
Because the catfishing is real.
Yes. Number 8 is don't just spray and pray online dating messages. It says don't message a woman unless there's some evidence in her profile that she's looking for someone like you. So basically, just make sure that you're actually matching with the people you're looking for, because some people would be like, oh, I don't like atheists and Muslim men or something, and then here goes the Muslim guy, goes directly to that woman. Like, that's not going to work. So don't waste your time if you have different religious beliefs. Like, it's like a waste. Know what you value. So basically, know your fucking self.
100%.
Be vulnerable where it matters. Own who you are and what you want in a relationship. Stop being so rigid in your expectations. Expectations are the root to all heartbreak. Do you think that women have unrealistic expectations?
I think both genders do.
Give me 2. 1 for each gender.
Women will say, let me say something unrealistic. I want him to buy me flowers every day, which is possible. However, during a pandemic, if this man finishes work at 10 p.m., where I'm at right now, you can't get nothing. You can't get flowers at 10 p.m. You can't. It's not the greatest example to use, but there's certain things, like, I'm trying to think of something that's like, okay, you know what? Perfect example. Chili from TLC, everything that she wants in a man is unrealistic.
Oh, what are her expectations?
I know that she's like, okay, he has to be, don't quote me on exactly what it is, but she'll be like, okay, the man that I want has to be, once again, 6'10". He has to be from like a mid chocolate to a caramelized hazelnut complexion. He has to use the words this, that, and that every day. Like, it's ridiculous.
Oh yeah,
she's ridiculous.
Like, fix your list some.
Yeah. And then men, I say that the unrealistic expectation that they have is, oh, I need to be getting coochie 5 times a day.
Yeah, sex. Oh, that's a whole nother thing. But sex and dating don't to me don't mix, but not just dating. I mean, dating, but not,
Yeah.
So we'll you know what? We'll speak on sex soon. We haven't really had a sex episode.
We haven't.
Because you don't want to be nasty. That's why. Evaluate your beliefs about dating.
Yep.
Have a first date plan. Oh, please. Men and even women, because like I said, I don't want men to feel like they should be the ones solely responsible for romance. But if you're going to have a date, number one, don't ask a young lady what she would like to do on a date. Because if she tell your ass she want to go on a helicopter ride and you ain't got helicopter ride money, then what you gonna do? Not date her? This could still be your wife. You just asked her what she want to do, and I wouldn't blame sis for shooting high. If you knew that you only have walk in the park money, have a plan. Hey, do you mind if we link up on Friday? What you want to do? Oh, it's this beautiful view that I really just want you to see, and I want to sit and talk to you in front of. Okay, cool. That's a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just what you want to do. I don't know what you want to do. All right, well, we'll just see. That's a horrible first date. So please have a first date plan. It says incorporate an activity into your next date. Listen more than you talk on your first few dates. Believe that there will be a second date.
Yeah.
That's a good one for me. I have something to say about that one. Go on a second date even if the first one was not perfect. So those are 20 things that you can do in 2020 that will help you have a more successful love life.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when it just said the last two, the believe that there will be a second date and go on a second date even if it wasn't all that great, I feel like that's the thing that women have the hardest part. Like, we feel like we know when we know.
Yeah.
And we miss out on a lot of men because we don't want to give them a second chance. But again, that's toxic maximizing. It's very toxic to believe that even if you had so let's just say the date was all right, but you just didn't fall in love. Just to go out on another date with someone might just be worse.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes
you're being unrealistic in your expectation of how the first date should have went. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's very good to always give things two shots, especially if the person just wasn't like rude, stank, nasty, or mean to you. Mm-hmm. I would say that would be a great thing. Just go on a second date, even if it wasn't all that pleasant. Yeah. So those are my gems. And even though I'm single, I'm single. I have a good dating history though. When I am single, I don't mind at all.
Well, I mean, we look forward to hearing the update. I know I do. I love a good story.
Well, first someone has to like me and not be intimidated by me because I'm a bitch online. So I don't know. They don't like it. No, I will definitely do it. I don't care. I will make it my business to go out on a very first date with someone within the next 30 days. Mm-hmm. Well, we are in a pandemic, so it's not going to be, the most romantical night at, the museum kind of thing, but we'll figure it out. I'll give somebody a chance.
Well,
Hopefully they're listening. Hopefully they're listening and they're taking notes that a bitch is not going Dutch on your date.
Okay.
And don't play with me. Play with your mama.
And just before we go, I just have to say this. Dating is still very important while you're married.
Mic. Definitely date while married.
Mm-hmm.
Drops mic. She said it. Well, shit, when she say that'd be it. All right, so this is cool. I really enjoyed this because I think that a lot of people aren't dating. Dating is so important.
Yeah.
And even when you're married, like she said, it is. So anyways, guys, I will let you all know when to come back to episode 12 and listen to my first date recap.
So excited.
Until next time.
See you later, guys.
Thank you for joining us in the Gawdess Lounge. We're going to drop a picture of this podcast on our social media, so be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, the Hair Gawds. And if you're a woman, you can join our group, the Gawdess Lounge. Leave your comments and your feedback so that next week we can include you guys in our segment and let us know how we're doing.